going to share my screen. All right. Python lesson. Well, it's a great start to the recording. Python lesson 3. So we are continuing on. Do you know where this quote comes from, by any chance? Just when you're trying to get me out of it, they keep pulling me back. It's sort of changed the person. It's the code. The code is actually just when I'm trying to get out, they keep pulling me back in. Come on, someone must have seen it.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
That's Al Pacino. Yes. Come on, get the film. Okay, it's Godfather 3, guys. Come on. No one's watched The Godfathers. Yeah. See, you're making me feel old. So we're going to learn about dictionaries. So what is a dictionary? It doesn't necessarily contain a bunch of words with definitions for each one, but sometimes it does. Because so what is it exactly? It is a special structure in Python. So it's similar to a list, but it's something that we're going to see a lot in Grasshopper, especially when we have branches of information. So dictionaries is another way of defining them. So it allows us to store information in what is called key-value pairs. So I can place some information in the dictionary, and I can access that information using a specific key. So it's like a key and lock system. But let us think about a dictionary itself. So if we consider a dictionary like the real definition of a dictionary, right? It's a collection of words, correct? But each word has a definition assigned to it, right? So if we get the word tree and we look it up on the dictionary, it has some kind of definition as to what a tree is, correct? So the access to that definition is the key, which is the word itself, tree. In a similar way, it's how we define dictionaries here. So the way we define dictionaries here is basically we were going to have some kind of data stored in a list that is only accessible through a special key. So let's try and code it. So the first thing we need to think about is the syntax. Everyone knows what a syntax is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys? Everyone understand what the syntax is? Please speak up if you don't. No? Okay, syntax is just the way we write things for the computer to understand. So it's like a list, except we use these brackets, right? The curly bracket. Is it called a curly bracket? Is it? So that's a square bracket. What's this? A normal bracket, and that's a curly bracket? I don't know, whatever. The point is, we use these curly brackets. So remember, there's a difference between the brackets we used. The squares is for a list. The brackets, the normal brackets are for tuples. And tuples, remember, anything you put in a tuple, you can't change. And these are for dictionaries. So we're using this to define a dictionary. So if we go into Python, for example, it's right here. So if we want to create a dictionary that's called, I don't know, I just don't name a dictionary, I don't know. And the brackets that we need to use are these ones, right? So anything we place in here now is considered as part of a dictionary. Now, there's something else you need to consider as well, and that is the key followed by a colon here and the data itself. So you can have a key, can be anything, and then the data stores. So the key is just basically the reference to that data. So if we think of it in terms of Grasshopper branches, right? In order to access this set of data, you need to go through this branch versus this branch that accesses a different set of data, and so on and so forth. But I'll show you another time. Sometimes when you go into Grasshopper and it shows that there's like some kind of value, and then this semicolon is another kind of value. Or when we talk about a list within a list, it's kind of like, it's this kind of concept. So that's how you would write it. You would open up the brackets and you would put, let's say age would be one thing that we want to put in, and semicolon, and within the age we just put the number 5, and then comma. We have, let's say, name, and then within the name have this, and the name is John this time. Okay, so now we have a dictionary. Dictionary has 2 values, and these 2 values are accessed by these keys. Does that make sense? Okay,
Yeah.
I guess it does. So let's create a dictionary named month conversions, and consider how I've wrote it down here. Month conversions doesn't have a space in between. Remember, in Python, when we name something as a list or a variable, we can't have spaces. We can have a dash on the bottom. What's it called?
Underscore.
Underscore, yeah. To differentiate between spaces, but that's it. Anyway, within the month conversions, it needs to contain all 12 months, where the first 3 letters of the month, e.g. Jan, acts as the key, and the data is the full name of the month, e.g. January. So that's your challenge. That's what you need to do. Can you try and do it? When you're done, paste your results in here.